I'm Hannah, and I'm a sociology and gender studies major. And tonight I have had 2 PBR Tallboys and a screwdriver and a couple of shots of rum and gin and tonic, which I'm working on now. And my thesis...
Screwdriver on the way.
A screwdriver on the way. Half a screwdriver on the way.
Sorry.
And my thesis is called Either Way Your Husband Won't Look at You Like an Ugly Wilted Flower, meanings of purity among evangelical and Catholic abstinence-only education participants. But if I could call it anything, I would probably call it Notions of Purity Are Fucking Fluid, So Stop Prude Shaming, You Atheist Assholes. A thesis.
Nice.
And basically, I did interviews with Catholic and evangelical abstinence-only education participants who were like spanning the spectrum of like super into abstinence and super anti-abstinence. So I got like all kinds of points of view on that. And I did interviews with them, unstructured interviews, transcribed the interviews, and then I did qualitative coding, which means that I like read through the transcriptions, found like I think like 6 or 7 key themes, and then read through all the interviews and coded for all those themes. And what I found were that there are 4 major meanings of purity that people will kind of shift between when they're talking about purity in the context of Christian abstinence-only education. And those 4 meanings are purity as passive morality, which means just not participating in sexual behavior. And that's not really a gendered thing, it's just like whoever you are, just don't have sex and you're fine. But then purity as emotional work, which is the concept of like keeping a pure heart, which means like not creating an intimate connection with someone who is not like your God-ordained spouse. And that was gendered as female, meaning that like male and female respondents both said that women struggle with this more. And then the 3rd meaning of purity that I identified was purity as, oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Doing purity. That was...
Doing
purity.
Doing purity.
Doing purity. So Weston Zimmerman in 1987 wrote this.
No,
There's this really well-known gender theory piece by Weston Zimmerman called Doing Gender, and it's this idea that like gender is this ongoing accomplishment that you like have to continue to achieve through your everyday interactions. And so I applied that idea to purity, and that like it's presentational, so that's where I was talking about like the promise ring. But it's also its way of holding yourself. This one manifested itself way differently between Catholics and evangelicals, which I would go into more if I had more time, I guess. And then the 4th one, oh my god, what was the 4th one? There was emotional work, passive morality, doing purity, and the renewable state of being free of sin. So this is where you talk about like confessions and stuff. And this was like the main meaning of purity, where it's like you can totally claim a second virginity. And that's like the idea that purity is attained through a relationship with God, and it doesn't matter what kind of physical acts you partake in, because it's just all about your spiritual state. And the conclusions that I drew from my thesis are that sociologists need to stop looking at issues of abstinence education in terms of like how much sex teenagers are having, because there's way more to it than that. And also that abstinence-only education programs, and really any sex ed programs, could do really well with like unpacking gendered notions of like sexual immorality among teenagers, because there's a lot there that they're not really unpacking, and you can kind of tell because you're talking to people who have participated in these types of education, and they're just kind of shifting between all these weird gendered meanings, and like you can just kind of tell that people haven't, like, that these programs don't spend the time like talking about what purity means for boys and girls, and like the different like things it can mean in like religious contexts and like sexual contexts and stuff. So that was my thesis, and it's really great, and it was really, really fun, and it was, I think, one of the best experiences I've ever had. I love talking to a bunch of spiritual people about their spirituality. That's my thesis.
Okay.